And a few things that I do want to mention is the teenage years are very delicate years because individuals are not yet adults and they are not children anymore. So they're trying to find a way in society. They're trying to fit in, make an identity for themselves. And peer pressure is a driving force in teens when it comes to substance use. There are different types of peer pressure, right? There's positive peer pressure, negative peer pressure. Then there's spoken peer pressure versus silent peer pressure. Some examples of positive peer pressure we already know is encouraging individuals to engage in positive activities, whether it's joining a club, going to the masjid, praying, activities that, bring about positivity in an individual. And then you have negative peer pressure, and substance use falls under that, encouraging or demonstrating the use of substances in individuals. Spoken peer pressure may include teasing or verbally expressing, the use, using substances, asking to attend a party where there are substances offered. And it also includes modeling behaviors. And something that I want to point out to today is the social learning theory, right? Children and adolescents and youth, they learn by what others model for them. And they learn by conditioning. They learn by classical conditioning and they learn by operant conditioning, right? So if they're getting rewards for engaging in a certain behavior, chances are they will engage in that behavior more often than not. So there are four steps to four parts of the social learning theory. One is attention, right? So the child pays attention to the behaviors of a person they look up to or they're hanging out with. Then there's retaining. The child remembers the person they look up to. They remember the behaviors the person displayed. And they recall what behaviors attained positive attention. And then you have reproducing, where the child or the youth imitates those actions with the hopes of receiving the same response. And then there's motivation. If the individual receives the same response they're looking for, they're more likely to reproduce that behavior, right? So then we come into talking about dopamine and how that's the pleasure chemical that, it's when the adolescent first gets high, they feel that surge of pleasure. They feel that, that happiness, that euphoria, and they go back to seek that euphoria over and over again. So that's my take on teens and peer pressure when it comes to substance use.